Well, now really, when we go back then to falling in love and say it's crazy, falling, you see, we don't say rising into love. There is in it the idea of the fall. And it goes back, as a matter of fact, to extremely fundamental things. That there is always a curious tie at some point between the fall and the creation. Taking this ghastly risk is the condition of there being life. You see, for all, the life is an act of faith and an act of gamble. The moment you take a step, you do so on an act of faith because you don't really know that the floor is not going to give under your feet. The moment you take a journey, what an act of faith. The moment you enter into any kind of human undertaking in relationship, what an act of faith. See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me. Do anything you like with me. See? So, that's quite mad. Because you see, it's letting things get out of control. All sensible people keep things in control. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Security. Vigilance. Watch it. Police. Watch it. Guards. Watch it. Who's going to watch the guards? So, actually, therefore, the course of wisdom, what is really sensible, is to let go, is to commit oneself, to give oneself up, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
Hey, what's going on? It's Nerf here for Nerf for Nothing. The audio that you guys just heard was from Alan Watts, a very highly respected philanthropist, as well as a person who just understood life, understood what everything could actually stand for and what it means. And the whole reason that I added that clip in was just for the mere fact that it is Pride Month. And when I was growing up, I was told you couldn't love if you were gay or bi or any of that because it didn't make sense love-wise for you to be able to do that. But in hearing Alan Watts, my whole perspective on the entire subject changed because me being a pansexual person myself, it was quite mad to actually think that, like, there was platonic love without the need for knowing someone's sexual orientation or their appendages or anything that they have, that you could merely love somebody based off of their personality or by the way they smell, whatever it may be. But the fact is, and it still remains, is that anybody can love anyone. And so I figured it was a great topic to start on with. But more importantly, just to let you guys know that this is an open and safe environment. No one can be discriminated, hurt against, any of that. And we stand for people who just want to make this world better, want to make a happier life for people, an easier life. A place where your kids or your niece or nephews or whoever it may be can walk around freely without fear of harm, without fear of rejection, without fear of hurt. And I've got to say that this is a miraculous moment in history, is all the support and stuff that I see gushing out from the LGBTQ community. And it really, really brightens my day to see that we have people out there still fighting for our rights and doing everything they can. I try my best to. I can say that I do try to spread love and not hate. And a lot of people that know me will know that for a fact, is that I will have no problem standing up for what I think is right or what I believe could be right. A lot of this is just, like I said, mind-boggling. I never thought I'd see a day where everybody would love everybody and be on the same wavelength that I was when I was younger. And so it's really quite amazing. It brings so many fond memories to know that, you know, a lot of these things are happening now, and that people can really, you know, change and show a better world than what I grew up in. I was born and raised in a small town in Haverstraw, New York, and I have a lot of bad memories about being a person in my situation, and one of them being that I got my head bashed into a guardrail during school. I was waiting for the door to open up, and I guess, you know, we're on a line. I guess one of the kids behind me called me a faggot, and then my head got bashed in the guardrail. When I woke up 5 minutes later, mind you, I had a nurse, I had a principal, I had all this, and they never called an ambulance. And when I asked what happened, they said, oh, some kids called you a faggot, the boys were being boys. And I said, well, did they get in trouble? They're like, no, we don't see anything wrong here. That really stuck with me really hardly, and created a foundation to which I believed that sexual orientation had like a big impact in the world at that point, that if you weren't straight, you weren't alright. And it really damaged me quite a bit, mentally and sometimes physically. So that's one of the many reasons that I stand for these rights. Another one is that today, actually, June 9th, is 12 years after my first love. His name was Kevin Zimmerman. We called him Zim for short because I loved him, and he was my Zim, and I was his Gur. He had committed suicide because he didn't think his parents would accept him. His parents were strict Catholics, but they had saw me come over so much that they started to ask questions, and they found out me and him were in a relationship. He didn't know any of this, and his parents and me talked, and they were proud, supportive, they didn't care. Asked us, you know, when would not us, but asked me when, you know, we could do a marriage and all this, and we had planned all this. And the night that he went to go commit suicide, he messaged me to come over, and we were going to break the news to them tomorrow. So I said, no, I can't come over. I got stuff to do, but I'll see you tomorrow. That next day, I got taken out of school. I got told that he had passed away from a hanging, and they had a note that was written for me as well as them. And he just said that he was sorry he couldn't do this anymore. He couldn't hide who he was from his parents. He couldn't, you know, be the husband or boyfriend that he wanted to be for me. And that none of this was my fault. And that it was just something that was building up since he was a kid. And felt that he wasn't accepted or loved. And so he took his life. Pride Month is a very hard month for me because my first ever relationship, which just happened to be with a guy, he ended up killing himself. So it's hard. It's extremely hard every year. But I grow and I get a little bit better each time, knowing that there's a lot of things out there that can help persuade you to think in a better light, to never get to that point and to ask for help. And that's something that, as a friend and a lover, I didn't do for him, is I didn't reach out. And it's because I didn't know. And it's also because of the society we grew up in, where we were taught nobody cares what your feelings are, who you love, or any of this. No one cares about any of that. And that's just the way that our world was at this part, you know, of the time. And it created a very odd feeling, a very, very weird atmosphere. But nonetheless, I'm proud to say that I'm in a relationship now. But also the fact that I know that Kevin's in a better place. Like I said, it still hurts me. It's still something painful and touchy. But I know he'd be proud of me for doing what I do now. But yeah, guys, I wanted to at least give you like a 10-minute clip, something like that. But yeah, guys, girls, non-binary, whoever you are, I hope you guys just know that you're loved, and I love y'all.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hours, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday, yesterday.